advise you to sit tight because it is revealing, it is exposing, and it is truth. Where we talk herbal, where we talk treatment, where we talk health. Today we're going to talk about the authenticity of herbal medicine today. 75% of medicine or drugs that are in the pharmacies and hospitals are directly made from plants. 18% come from fungus, like lovastatin, which comes from the fungus aspergillus, or penicillin, which comes from the fungus Penicillium notatum. 5% come from bacteria, like streptomycin, that comes from Streptococcus bacteria. 3% come from vertebrates, such as snakes, where the drug captopril is made from, and frogs, where the drug Campbell, which treats depression, comes from. In fact, 20% of the top prescription drugs in the world come from plants. A drug is referred to a top drug if it bears two characteristics. One, if it treats large numbers of people. And two, because the drug has led the way where people didn't know what it can do, but when it treats, it gives the scientists and the herbalists the psyche to do more research on it. 80% of people worldwide have used herbal medicine as their primary means of treatment for healthcare. It's interesting to note that complementary and alternative medicine, or what is called as CAM, CAMS, is now becoming mainstream in places like the UK, the rest of Europe, North America, and Australia. There is a reason to this current shift. Maybe they have been disappointed from what they have been using to treat themselves. But scientifically, we know what is happening. Plant products used as herbs contain several constituents which work together synergically, as opposed to extracting a particular compound, like the pharmaceutical companies do to make a drug. This separation of a compound from a plant to make a drug makes it weaker and less effective. I'll give an example. Chloroquine, which was made from the plant cinchona, was made to treat malaria. But before that, the plant cinchona itself was being crushed and boiled and drunk, and people used to get cured. But scientists came and extracted a particular compound from the cinchona plant, chloroquine, and made a compound called chloroquine phosphate. This weekend, remember, the plant has several compounds, like quinine, quinidine, cinchonine, quinic acid, quinovine, and all these compounds work together to kill the malaria parasite. The malaria parasite is called Plasmodium. So if somebody drank from the cinchona plant, the concoction, it will be very hard for the Plasmodium parasite to study and launch a way in which it can avoid or resist the medicine. But when scientists decided to extract only quinine, it made it easy for the parasite to study the medicine and develop resistance. At the cellular level, a gene is the brain of the cell. So the Plasmodium parasite, particularly Plasmodium falciparum, used the gene PFCRT, in full it's written here, to develop a mechanism in which it can overcome the quinine. The parasite dies when quinine goes into the cytoplasm and shuts up the system. But because the chemical, only quinine was there, quinine phosphate, the parasite had an easy way to study it and to come up with a way to overcome it. And this is what it did. When the chemical came inside the cytoplasm into the parasite came up with a way of taking it out. That's the name of the gene that is shown here. Secondly, apart from developing resistance, some people developed allergies from the quinine. Remember I said it's a combination of chemicals. Some of the chemicals will soothe the body so that you don't develop allergies. But when you use only quinine, the body reacts to quinine, and there's no way to soothe itself. Therefore, you develop allergies. Thirdly, when the chemical quinine phosphate, which was made to make a malaria drug, gets into the body, it's easily rejected because the body does not understand this simple molecule or compound. Whenever you take a drug and you start smelling it, it means the body is rejecting it through the skin. There's no way you will drink a herbal medicine and you start smelling the medicine because there's no rejection. The body is in sync with the medicine that you've just taken. But once you start smelling it, there's a war within your body to remove the medicine as fast as possible. And this is one of the ways that also, because the quinine is becoming less in the body, it is becoming less concentrated, the parasite has easier way to resist it and eject it and cause resistance. So the scientists unfortunately managed to do three things at a go: cause resistance, cause people to develop allergies. Some of the allergies that we know are itching. Many people can confirm that when they took chloroquine, they had about 3 days of itchiness, scratching themselves. If you're one of them, please leave a comment. Let's have a conversation. Now, remember how hectic the scientists became after they realized that they made a mistake. There is resistance to the quinine. They were all over the place looking for new medicine. So they went, lucky for us and lucky for them, they went to China and found a very nice village whose villagers were using a particular plant to treat themselves. And the malaria parasite was dying. It was being killed. The village was Shichui village. The plant was called quincao. They were using it, crushing it, and drinking it, and getting cured of malaria. While the rest of the world was afraid. Now malaria has become resistant, has become a problem. This plant is in English called sweet wormwood, and scientifically it's called Artemisia annua. Now the scientists came and quickly grabbed this medicine, owned it, and started making medication, a new drug called coartem. Now we are using coartem in hospitals and pharmacies. Now this is the problem everywhere about drug resistance. Scientists have gone in every corner, taken plants, made medication, changing them into their own form, and later on caused resistance to develop. Yet they are passing the buck saying it's the consumers who are not using the medicine in the right way. Some of the resistance is shown here. What happens when resistance to quinine took place? The idea is taking a plant as created by God and transforming it, weakening it, and presenting it to us. It's better we use the herbal medicine the way it is. Or if there is an alternative, if there is any change, then we at least take all of the compounds of the plant and make a concoction from it. This is alarming because it's a problem in every area, in every treatment area. We have typhoid, which developed the resistance. We have UTI right now, which is developing resistance. We have brucellosis, which is developing resistance, even after taking the 21 injections or 60 injections, depending on which type of brucellosis you are suffering from. You still find yourself suffering from the disease. Many people are DMing me for help after they have used all kinds of medication, the pharmaceutical medication from the pharmacies and doctor prescriptions. They are looking for me to treat certain resistant diseases. But this is the problem where it started. People are DMing me on my Facebook page, Msamama Herbal Cure. And once they get my medicine, they actually get cured completely. And this is a case to other diseases also, arthritis, blood pressure. And these diseases, we'll look at them, we'll make a video about them each of these diseases and what happens. Now, the bigger problem is that the pharmaceutical companies don't accept that they made a mistake. They never accept. They go around it. They are in business. They make a problem and they come up with a solution and they make more money. If I don't say this, then who will? Remember, my background is good. I have done drug sensitivity tests when I was at Cambridge, Center of Microbiology Research. And I was also at Walter Reed Project. That's a US Army Medical Research place in Cambridge. We were doing tests on malaria parasites, on drugs. I have to say this, and then you have to also know it. Let's move on. Let us look at the global use of herbal medicine. 48% of Australians use herbal medicine. 70% in Canada use it, 72% in USA use it, 38% in Belgium use it, and 75% in France use it. These percentages are still low. Countries that lead in the use of herbal medicine are China, Korea, and Japan. Now, life expectancy and how healthy a population is are correlated. It's amazing to note that countries that use more herbal medicine are the most healthy and they have the longest life expectancies. Remember, life expectancy in a country is an average between men and women. Women always have a higher life expectancy than men because they are health conscious and they take drugs, they treat themselves, they go to hospital and so on, but men lag behind. If you look at the life expectancies in 2020, you can Google this. Hong Kong has the highest life expectancy in years at 87.8 years. Japan comes in second at 84.67. Macau is third at 84.39. Switzerland comes in fourth, the first country that is not in Asia, at 83.82. Remember, Switzerland has companies that make herbal medicine, like Max Zeller Company. Singapore is sixth at 83.66. Spain is sixth at 83.61. Italy seventh at 83.56. Australia is eighth. A lot of Australians use herbal medicine at 83.49 years. These are countries that do not suffer diseases. Diseases are put in two categories. Lifestyle diseases, those are the diseases of the first world countries. High blood pressure, diabetes, because of what they eat, how they take themselves. Then we have poor man's disease, the ones that we find in Africa and other places. It's like cholera, typhoid, dysentery, malaria. People die from these diseases. But you will not see these two categories in those countries that use herbal medicine more.
This is the Chinese cooking channel called Chinese Cooking Channel. Today we're going to sample some of this gin and herbal drink. Here's the gin that we put with the different herbs last year.
In Japan, more and more people are turning to Kampo to address a variety of health concerns.
In order to have a healthy life, everything comes from nature, no chemicals, no preservatives. Unlike Western medicine, where one size fits all, Kampo is a custom-made treatment based not only on a person's symptoms, but
the USA at 42%, that's a very small figure of usage of herbal medicine. The US has a lot of diseases. Its people suffer from so many diseases, from arthritis, diabetes, high blood pressure, and so on, because very few people use herbal medicine. So it's time we went back to the roots, literally. I'm a very good doctor in Ogembo.